Football is a bloody, emotional gladiator sport. Sometimes players put themselves before the game, compromising the integrity of the sport to try and get ahead of opponents by any means necessary. Players on this list became notorious by playing dirty, even infamous from their actions. Today, we'll be showing you the downright dirtiest players in NFL history.
Let's see who's a dirty player.
Roy Williams.
Roy
Williams spent most of his career as a safety for the Dallas Cowboys, highly touted out of Oklahoma and an all-pro in the NFL. However, Roy Williams lives in the NFL rulebook because of the unsportsmanlike and dangerous nature of his tackling. Dubbed the Roy Williams rule, the NFL banned horse collar tackling in 2004.
Horse collar tackling.
This was after Roy Williams severely injured 3 offensive stars in the league in one season with horse collar tackles. The problem is, Williams refused to stop, calling the new rule crazy as he drew penalties for continued use during games.
You know players like that where a ban's been put in place and they're still doing it, you could tell he relies on that tackle.
Or he probably just doesn't give crap and saying, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
He probably has that attitude.
But after injuring 3 star players, it's a bit...
And maybe that's his goal
flag
as well.
Yeah, something's definitely up
Maybe
with
he gets like a little thrill out of it. Like, yeah, I injured... I don't know.
I think it just works and he just likes it. It's in his arsenal to use, and he's pissed that they put a ban on it and he just keeps doing it.
Defender. The NFL commissioner suspended him for a game in 2007. Williams received flack from many players, including teammates, for his steady carelessness of the rules. Otherwise a solid player with a long career, Roy Williams is more remembered for his careless and dirty play on the field. James Harrison. Harrison was built just like the Steeler greats of old. He was underestimated, possessing a work ethic that drew out his nasty style of play on the field. Harrison quickly became known for his wicked hits, leaving players motionless and brutalized. A certified headhunter. Fellow players gave him over 60% of the vote for most dangerous player in the NFL in 2012. His play rivaled those that came 30 years before him, before the danger of concussions were fully understood. When asked about his play style, Harrison replied, "I try to hurt people," and he has. Harrison's headfirst knockout blows have helped him accrue $150,000 in fines and 20 missed games from suspensions.
Yeah, that head-to-head helmet stuff is brutal.
That should be illegal.
Yeah, I think, comment below, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've put like stops to the tackles like that. Like, you can't just go helmet to helmet anymore. And a lot of you guys are complaining that it's gone so soft compared to what it used to be. But damn, if people are going into concussions on a regular, they had to do something about that.
Essentially making him the league's public enemy #1 in a hit on a Cleveland Browns receiver that caused the player to bend backwards before falling unconscious to the ground. Harrison said he would have killed him if he knew it was going to lead to a $75,000 fine anyway. Harrison's nasty style led to his great underdog story, but it also landed him a spot on this list. Rodney Harrison.
Dirty, man.
Rodney Harrison was a hard-hitting safety and multiple-time champion with the San Diego Chargers and New England Patriots. From the late 1990s to the early 2000s, players are taught to play all out between the whistles. Rodney's reputation preceded him as a player whose intensity carried past the whistle. Matter of fact, Harrison became notorious for his late hits. When a publication polled NFL coaches and players in 2004, they voted Rodney Harrison the dirtiest player in the game.
No way.
Then again in 2006
what
and
the
again
hell?
in 2008.
Yo, from when you're getting it all those years, you are known for your dirty play differently. You'd think he'd change, but he probably made it.
He didn't care.
Even worse.
I'm telling you, a lot of them, like what the previous player said, I like to hurt people. They get a thrill out of it.
Oh, I'm trying to hurt people. Yeah, it's messed up.
When there's smoke, there's fire. Over his career, Rodney was fined over $200,000 for his illegal hits. He is most notorious for hitting a defenseless Jerry Rice in 2002, striking him with his helmet and knocking him unconscious.
Back of the head as well.
Trying to find any advantage. Harrison was suspended for 4 games after testing positive for PEDs. Harrison had a long and prosperous career, but it didn't come without controversy. Hines Ward. Hines Ward is the only receiver on this list. Considered a flashy position, Ward played more like the mascot his alma mater is known for, a bulldog. Ward is referred to as the greatest blocking receiver of all time, regularly helping to spring big plays with his effort. Having some grit and nastiness comes hand in hand when we talk great blockers, and Ward is no exception. The Steeler legend became notorious for throwing crushing blindside blocks when defenders can't even see him. These blocks level players, flattening them before they see it coming. Bengals linebacker Keith Rivers was on the wrong side of one of these. Ward struck him so hard that it broke his jaw, ending his season in seconds.
No
Another
way.
Bengals player reiterated that dirty blindside blocks are what he's known for. Once Rodney Harrison retired, Ward immediately took the crown for NFL's dirtiest player in 2009. Richie Incognito.
Broke a jaw.
Offensive lineman Richie Incognito's career has been marred with controversy on and off the field. Violent, wicked, and cruel are...
You know, a lot of these guys, they're mad off the field, you know, like outside of NFL. Some of, like one of them got done for murder. I think one of these biggest players, it was a Netflix series. He murdered his girlfriend or something like a couple years ago. Comment below, guys, if you know who I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure it's got its own Netflix show. And there's a few people that got away with murder. Like, I saw in the comments like they're saying, "Oh, this guy got away with murder. Don't mess with him." Like on our last video we reacted to, like they're brutal outside the pitch. Like
it makes sense why they play the way they do.
Nah, they're killers. Some of these.
They
people,
are.
in real
Like
life.
I said, the guy quit. I tried to hurt people.
Yeah, and one of them said, if I knew I was going to get a fine 70k, I would have made sure I killed him." I would have tackled him even harder.
I said this already. They get a thrill out of this.
It's mad.
My God.
They want to hurt people.
Yep.
that describe good people, but they do describe good NFL blockers. It's pretty well documented that Richie Incognito is an awful person, from bullying teammates to going postal at his father's funeral. That intensity carried onto the football field, where Incognito is anything but invisible to referees. He's stockpiled personal foul penalties throughout the years. When named the second dirtiest player in the league, Incognito boasted proudly, saying it was a badge of honor to get into his opponent's heads. Incognito is notorious for trying to gouge eyes and punch players below the belt at the bottom of piles. In an altercation with Texas defender Antonio Smith, Richie leg whipped and tripped Smith multiple times, attempting to seriously injure him. When asked, Incognito didn't decline the accusations and even refused to change his play style. Richie Incognito will go down as an enigma in the NFL, but not for good reason. Jack Tatum. Compared to today's NFL, the 70s were like the Wild West, and even then, Jack Tatum was too vile and feared throughout the league. Nicknamed the Assassin for his jolting tackles from the safety position, Tatum assaulted offenses for a decade with the Oakland Raiders. As a part of a fearsome group of defenders, Tatum was the nastiest of the bunch. Tatum is best known for his paralyzing hit on Darryl Stingley. Stingley came over the middle to catch a pass when Tatum decked him in what was a then legal hit that struck him in the head and neck area. Stingley had to be carted off the field and was later diagnosed with a broken 4th and 5th vertebrae.
Oh my God, that's his career done. But this is why they're trying to put heavy fines and they're trying to put rules to avoid shit like this. Because I'm sure after this situation...
this title does this video justice.
Yeah,
the dirtiest.
That was dirty.
NFL.
Oh my God. Do you know how bad that is?
Oh,
he's probably in the wheelchair for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's paralyzed, wheelchair.
Going from like super athletic fit to wheelchair rest of your life. Do you know, Matt, that's so sad.
And eventually died from his complications with the injury. Tatum never reconciled with Stingley and only tried to make contact near the end of his own life. Tatum showed little remorse for his play style and retired, considered by most as one of the dirtiest players of all time.
So the guy died after they could...
That's sad.
I wonder if the assassin guy, like, he said he reached out towards the end where when he was dying. He must have had some remorse, but I don't know, man.
Well, he didn't change his play style.
He carried on.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Conrad Dobler. Conrad Dobler has the prestigious honor of being named Sports Illustrated's dirtiest player in NFL history. An offensive lineman for multiple teams in his career, the accolade isn't much of a stretch for a guy who would spit at defenders before the snap.
Ooh.
One of Dobler's friends, Phil Villapiano, deemed him a tough, rotten, nasty guy on the field. Dobler stretched the limits of legality on every play. The legend of Conrad Dobler the Biter grew throughout his career, if that's enough to tell you what kind of integrity he had. When asked about his reputation, Dobler said, "I'll do anything I can get away with."
From when he's spitting on people, that's nasty, man. Oh, that's nasty work. You know what kind of
I will do anything I can get away with.
Spit, bite, eye gouge. He'll do it all, man.
Dirty work.
Charismatic lineman intimidated opponents, expecting to deal with his actions before and after the snap. Dobler used his nasty play as an equalizer for his lack of stature and strength compared to his opponents. It served him extremely well, but it didn't make him many friends in his playing days.
Of course not.
Ndamukong Suh. At this point of the list, it's filled with players who did more than hit and block with intensity. Players this close to the top are downright poor humans, willing to do anything to get an edge. That describes Ndamukong Suh perfectly. Suh had numerous run-ins with the Rule Committee, and there may not be a player with a longer dirty play highlight reel in NFL history. Suh lives in infamy for his cheap shots and late hits, especially to opposing QBs.
Nah, that's a fight.
Kicked him as well.
He took the piss, then he boot. That guy probably wanted to kill him after that, because that's so disrespectful.
The hell? There was no need for that.
Yeah.
Spearing Aaron Rodgers after the whistle was reprehensible. Attempting to punt Fitzpatrick's helmet was deplorable. And forearming Cutler after the snap was downright disgraceful. But stomping on Packers center Evan Smith's chest crossed the line for even the most rugged viewers of football.
Yeah,
all of these
nasty
actions have vilified Suh, garnering him attention from referees and yearly deductions in pay. If it was not for Suh's immense talent, I'd say he'd probably be blackballed from the league. Vontaze Burfict. The NFL today is built to maintain the player's safety in this violent game of football. That being said, there isn't a player that has sent the league back more than Vontaze Burfict. Burfict loves to strike players with the crown of his helmet, clearly attempting to injure people. In his most infamous moment, Burfict absolutely blasted Antonio Brown, knocking him unconscious. Some even think the hit changed Brown forever. What it definitely changed was the outcome of the game. The penalty enforced lost the Bengals the playoff game, not just hitting defenseless receivers. Burfict has kneed QBs in the crotch, twisted Cam Newton's ankle after a play, and regularly dives at the knees of runners, attempting to end their careers. Fortunately, his repeated offenses have led to the NFL ending his own career. Following his last unnecessary personal foul in 2019, Burfict was suspended for the entire season. After being released by the Raiders and reinstated, it seems like the league had chosen not to re-sign him in the prime of his athletic career. It's the right thing to do, as Burfict has taken a lot more from the league than he's brought to it. And last but not least, Bill Romanowski. The captain of the all-dirty team, Romanowski thinks it's fair.
Had to be the captain of a dirty team. So the whole team's dirty, then you got their leader is the dirtiest.
Hence why they're all dirty, because they're following the team leader.
Yeah.
He set an example.
Yes, yeah.
To call him the dirtiest player ever. He also confirms that he would cross any line to stay above the line, meaning the four-time Super Bowl champion linebacker would do anything to win. Nothing is off limits with Bill, who soccer kicked Larry Sinners in the head during a game. For most people, this altercation would be a dark cloud looming over his career. But for Romanowski, it became a yearly event. In a meaningless preseason game, Romanowski hit QB Kerry Holland's high, breaking his jaw. A year later, Romanowski decided to fight his own teammate at practice, ripping his helmet off and punching him in the eye socket. The player had to retire. Romanowski was known for spitting and getting cheap shots on players no matter the situation. You can say he was trying to get ahead, but it's clear Romanowski enjoyed it, playing dirty even when there's nothing to gain.
Some dirty players on that list, I'll tell you that. What's your thoughts on the dirty plays?
It's not right what they're doing. They need to respect the sport. They need to have like sportsmanship in them as well. I get you want to win the game, but That's just extreme. You're ending people's careers. One guy died because two of his vertebrae broke.
Yeah, the complications after.
I'll be honest, I feel like all these people that play dirty and they clearly say, I want to hurt people. Oh, if I knew the fine was big, I would have done even more, killed them. I'm sorry, they've got anger issues that need to be looked at.
Yeah, like
they're not right in the head, I'll be honest.
They're not.
Why would you want to enter a game with the intention of wanting to kill someone? It's like...
It's madness.
Yeah, you're committing murder. Because you're playing the game, I done it by accident. I was
it's
just
your
defending.
way to get away with
I don't know, it's
people.
a bit much in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't agree with that at all.
I think if it was like an accidental thing and heads clash,
it's different.
But when you're, like you said, you're literally going out there, intentionally trying to take people out, it's a different
This Romanowski, whatever his name was, he punched his own teammate.
And he retired after it.
Oh, God.
That's mad.
He's definitely got issues.
A lot of them do. And that's why they made the list. Guys, thank you so much for recommending the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what other NFL videos you want us to react to. We've been getting loads of recommendations, so keep them coming. For now, peace out.
Bye.